Yes, sir. 6 o'clock. फोन साइलेंट पे कर लीजिए. Time up. स्विच ऑन करिए कैमरा.
Good evening, friends. I hope the audio is audible, proper level for you. Can I begin, or would any of you like to let me know if you're hearing us properly? I would begin with welcoming SD Shri Umesh Sinha ji, Senior DEC Shri Dharmen Kumar ji, who is in charge of Assam elections here. Sudeep Jain sir, Deputy Election Commissioner, who is looking after Kerala and West Bengal, and also DEC Shri Chandrabhushan, who looks after other issues at ECI. Sir, I would request Sinha sir to begin giving out his opening statement, and thereafter details from the two DECs.
Thank you very much, Shefali ji. Good evening, media friends. We have come to this stage of counting of votes today, which is the last leg of conducting the elections successfully. The team of officers of the Election Commission is here to give you a snapshot and the progress of the counting of votes, which started today at 8 a.m. with respect to the 4 states of Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, and in the Union Territory of Puducherry, and also simultaneously for the by-elections in 4 parliamentary constituencies and 13 assembly constituencies across 13 states. So at the outset, on behalf of the Election Commission, I would like to place on record the exemplary contribution of the various stakeholders during the entire electoral process, especially the voters, political parties, the media, apart from the election officials, about 1.1 million election officials who worked in different roles on the poll duty officers, assistant returning officers, DOs, SPs, chief electoral officers of the concerned states, micro observers, special observers, the police officials and the members of the central forces. We also had a large number of general observers, police observers and expenditure observers, members of the enforcement agencies of the state and the central government, the health authorities, the railways, airport authorities, entire staff of the ECI headquarters. They all put in their hard work and dedication despite the pandemic and the testing times. I would also like to convey my gratitude to all for their help and support and assistance for enabling the conduct of free, fair, transparent, inducement-free and safe election. Election Commission especially places on record its gratitude to all the voters for their enthusiastic, fearless participation in the election process, following all the protocols of social distancing, mask, sanitizer, and other COVID protocols. Commission particularly thanks persons with disability and the senior citizens and service voters who, as elector, they took part in the elections honoring the full COVID protocol norms. This election has been conducted across 2.67 lakh polling stations of 822 assembly constituencies across 4 states and 1 territory. Apart from that, we also had by-elections in several states. There are many success stories and of the electoral process in which our polling officials, our members of security forces and other stakeholders, they did exemplary work, and that has separately been accounted for, and the Shefali has been continuously giving these stories to the media. This is one of the biggest ever poll exercise of the world during the pandemic after the Bihar election. The election also saw a record seizure of cash, liquor and other materials, leading to the inducement-free elections. Also, there was a record seizure of 594 bombs, which could avert casualties at various locations, helping in the conduct of the peaceful elections in various parts of the country. The Election Commission has taken numerous well-thought measures which led to successful conduct of elections. I would enumerate some of them, especially the COVID-related measures. As you are aware that when the elections were announced on 26th February, the pandemic situation was at the lowest ebb since March 2020, and the extent of COVID was...
We can't hear you, sir. Please rectify the audio.
Oh.
Can you try now?
Okay, did you not hear from the beginning, or
It's just gone a minute.
Just the last 1.5 minutes.
okay, thank you. I think now is it on? Can you hear?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was just saying that at the time when the elections were announced on 26th February, the pandemic situation was at the lowest ebb since March 2020, and the extent of COVID was not anticipated as it developed or unfolded later. However, at the time of the announcement also, all the strictest norm of the COVID which was executed and implemented during the Bihar elections, they were kept intact, and all such protocols were also set for these elections in advance. The broad guidelines were worked out in August, and it was revised also, and then all these guidelines were implemented in all the poll-going states and the states of the by-elections. During this, a big exercise was done for the awareness of public and training of all polling officials for the COVID-related protocols, and this was circulated to all concerned stakeholders and the district officials, and a comprehensive exercise was done at the grassroots level with all polling officials. The representatives of the political party at the state, district and block levels were also given training emphasizing the guidelines of the COVID management. Voters' guide on do's and don'ts at the polling station were also printed in English and the vernacular, English, Hindi and vernacular, and distributed to all electors through the BLOs. Good number of poster pamphlets, audio visuals materials were prepared, and also before the poll, proper advertisement was given in the newspaper and other media to disseminate information about the safety protocols of the COVID. The posters on casting of votes during at the polling station, that was also kept at the polling station. Every district had prepared a COVID management plan at the district and the SC level, encompassing all issues like deployment of manpower, COVID material, distribution, sanitation, waste disposal, and other things. The state government constituted a 5-member task force wherein they implemented all the extant guidelines of the COVID as decided by the SDMA. The COVID materials such as masks, gloves, sanitizers, etc. were procured and distributed at all polling stations. The thermal scanners were used at polling stations. State level nodal of COVID officer were nominated. In the similar manner, the health department nominated officers at the district and assembly constituency level, and all the election personnel, including the polling personnel, were vaccinated as a frontline workers. The biomedical waste was removed from the polling station, sector officers' places, CAPA camp, and other centers of the electoral process. The venue sanitization was done before and after all the activities, and in the polling station, a physical distancing circle was marked everywhere. So all these arrangements were there. Regarding the guidelines of the campaign, also the Commission had set up certain COVID norms and had directed all the state officials and district officials and the chief electoral officers to strictly enforce the COVID norms in the election rallies, meetings, and campaigning. And the advisory in this respect was given to all political parties for them to become a role model and ensure that in their rallies and campaign, their party workers and their representatives follow the norms of the COVID guidelines. Also, that wherever these norms were violated, in that case, the district authorities were directed to take necessary action against the violators, and in several cases, such action was taken by the district authorities. And in this respect, about 108 show-cause notices were issued and about 60 FIRs were filed against the violators. And then the state government was time and again reminded of strict compliance of the COVID guidelines and reminded to take penal actions against the Disaster Management Act in such cases of violation. The Election Commission also issued direction and guidelines for COVID compliance of the counting procedure. As the polling process was going on, the Commission kept on monitoring the counting arrangements. Time and again, the officers of the Commission had a meeting with the Chief Electoral Officer, the Chief Secretaries, DGP, the Health Secretaries, and all concerned at the state and district level for the compliance of the COVID norms. And again, a specific protocol for counting was issued, in which today's counting, if you see, the counting took place at about 2,364 counting halls as compared to 1,002 halls in 2016 elections. That is more than 200% increase in the counting halls, keeping in view of the directions of the COVID safety measures and guidelines in the halls and related members. The Commission designated 822 returning officers and more than 7,000 AROs for the purpose of counting in these 5 states. Approximately 95,000 county officials, including the micro observers, have performed the task of counting. They are still continuing the work of the counting. The Commission also deployed about 1,000 counting observers who have reached from different parts of the country, the senior officials of different services. On the Commission's direction, the RT-PCR RAT tests were arranged for the counting agents, and about 150,000 counting agents in 5 states they were facilitated for such tests. The Commission has also directed to accept test report from any authorized lab. The media also authorized by the Commission to cover the counting process were facilitated with the RT-PCR RAT test, etc. Approximately 12,000 media persons were issued authority letters who are covering the process of counting at different places and the AC levels. In some places where there are some issue about the media passes reaching to the district, the chief electoral officers even facilitated the media passes to be sent by email and authorized the DOs and ROs to issue the passes to the media, so that they don't face any problem at the counting centers. So all the counting centers had to be certified by the nodal health officer that they are as per the norms of the COVID protocol, and a compliance certificate in respect of every counting center was taken from all the counting centers. No candidates and agents were allowed inside without undergoing the RT-PCR test or without having 2 doses of vaccination. And even those who had any symptoms like fever, cough and cold and other elements indicating the COVID, such agents were not allowed. The Commission also directed that no public gathering should be done in the counting venue, and that the counting hall should be big enough to maintain social distancing and should have proper ventilation, windows, exhaust fans, etc. as per the STMA guidelines. The counting centers were disinfected before, during and the counting process, and the sealed boxes of the EVM VVPATs were also sanitized and disinfected. Number of the counting tables to allowed in the counting hall have been as per the size of the hall and keeping in view the safety norms prescribed for COVID-19. Hence, the counting of the votes of the constituency may be considered at 3-4 halls by appointing additional assistant returning officers. At the entry of the halls, rooms, premises, the thermal scanning was done, and all other facilitation like of sanitation, etc. were provided. The candidates were given the option of appointing or replacing the counting agent in case of any symptom of the COVID is found in any agent, and social distancing norm are maintained inside the counting hall. Also, sufficient number of PPE kits were made available for the counting agents for sitting on the each alternative seats. For counting of the postal ballot, additional numbers of the AROs were deputed, and the postal ballot are also given to be counted in a separate hall under the supervision of the returning officer or assistant returning officer. As per the government guidelines, there will be proper arrangement of disposal of the COVID-related wastage like mask, face shield, PPE kit, gloves, etc., and the proper display of the guidelines of do's and don'ts that have also been placed around the counting hall. About the security arrangement, would like to say that adequate security forces, including the police and the central forces, were deployed to ensure the violence-free and safe conduct of elections in all phases in all states who have undergone the general election and the by-elections. Also, the specific instructions were issued for a ban on bike rallies during 72 hours before the date of poll, and the poll day in all poll-going constituencies to prevent antisocial elements to intimidate the voters. The Commission had also given specific direction for banning any victory procession, including any kind of procession or congregation of supporters of the victorious candidates anywhere in the constituency beyond limits on number prescribed by concerned states and union territories. Today, during the day, the Commission came to know about some of the incidences, some of the places where some of the party workers and representatives were enthusiastically congregating at some places and also trying to have a victory procession. In that, the Commission had immediately swung into action and directed all chief secretaries, DG Police and the chief electoral officers to immediately act upon such places, and on such incidents immediately the district authorities have swung into action, and the political parties have also been advised to strictly adhere the protocol and ask their representatives and the party workers not to congregate and not to have a victory procession in the crowd, so that they are able to maintain the COVID protocol and it doesn't become a cause of worry for spread of COVID. As far as the curve of the meanness of the money power is concerned, I would like to say that the Commission had engaged 5 special expenditure observers and 321 expenditure observers, and it was a record seizure of the of more than 1,000 crores, which is first time in any assembly election process, as compared to 225 crores which was there in seizure which was there in 2016. During this election, about 260 assembly constituencies were marked as expenditure sensitive constituencies, and there was a special focus and vigil on such assembly constituencies. One very important thing is that in these elections, again, the postal ballot facilities were extended to senior citizens, persons with disabilities and COVID affected persons, and also the voters who are from the essential services, in order to enable them to cast their votes. And it saw about 400% increase in the postal ballot, so which was 2.797 lakh in 2016. This time it was 13.16 lakh in the current election. So there was a record jump, and a large number of people opted for postal ballot who had the option, and also there was increase in the postal ballot from the service voters and other categories who are entitled for the postal ballots. Now, as far as the information on the progress of counting with respect to different states is concerned, I would give the details about Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and would request my colleague Sri Dharmen Sharma ji to give the similar brief about Assam, and Sudeep Jain, the Deputy Election Commissioner, to give you a brief about the Kerala and West Bengal, also brief on the EVM and the IT facilitation. There are some issues of server in some of the places. However, the counting is going on smoothly and hassle-free in all the assembly constituencies, and in case there is any problem with the uploading of on the in-core, we have also directed them that they should go offline, and if the counting process is smoothly concluded, in that case the ROs with the consent of the observers are directed to declare the result and give the certificate, and then the post facto upload the information on the in-core. So this is about the general briefing on the counting arrangements. As far as the Tamil Nadu is concerned, you are aware that there are 234 assembly constituencies where the counting is going on, and there are about 10,965 counting personnel who are engaged. There are 5,422 micro observers who are engaged. There are 234 observers, with some observers in reserve also, who are there. The largest number of polling station is on 27 Sozingal Nallur, that has 991 polling stations, where the AC with the smallest number of polling stations is 164, that is in Kilvelur, which has a 251 polling stations. 100% counting agents have undergone test, and so the arrangement is going on smoothly. At the moment, as far the information is concerned, about 60% counting has been done. It is in progress, and the results, we are still waiting for the results in any constituencies to come finally. And so about 15 to 18 rounds were completed successfully. As far as some issues regarding the victory procession, the instructions were issued to the CEO, Chief Secretary, DGP, to stop victory procession and advisory to the political parties. The Chief Electoral Officer had written to the Chief Secretary, DGP, Commissioner Police Chennai, Nodal Force Deployment Officer, all political parties, all DOs and SPs apart from the instruction issued by the Commission. The factual status is that one FIR has been filed in Teniampet Police Station in T Nagar district of the Greater Chennai Police against the cadres and supporters of a particular party who busted cracker at the party headquarter, and also in front of their office. The inspector of police of a particular Teniampet police station has been placed under suspension for dereliction of duty. Other places also the crowd have been dispersed, and the DOs and SPs have been put on alert that in case of any such victory procession and in congregation, they have to immediately act upon, and they have to ensure that such crowd is not collected at any place. At the same time, the political parties have been requested and they have been urged to direct their party workers and political party representatives not to have any congregation of this kind. I hope that the political parties will definitely act on this national cause, and they will not allow, or they will direct their party workers not to have any victory procession of this kind. As far as the Puducherry is concerned, one fact about the Tamil Nadu, the postal ballots, there were 5,22,000 postal ballots which were received till yesterday. There are some postal ballots which would have come at in the morning till 8 a.m. also. They also must have been accepted. As far as the Puducherry is concerned, Puducherry, there was out of these 30 assembly constituencies, 12 have been declared, and that is there on the portal. 18 are still under the process of counting. There were 17,000 postal ballots which were there for Puducherry. So with this information, now I'll request Dharmen Sharma ji to kindly brief about the counting arrangements and the progress of counting in Assam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. In Assam, we are looking at. You can hear me? Yeah, thank you. In Assam, we are looking at 126 assembly constituencies to be counted. As indicated, in the planning process, the COVID-19 containment measures are introduced, as a result of which we increased the number of polling stations by 34% over 2016, and then also had a cascading effect on the number of counting halls, which from 143 in 2016 went up to 331. In terms of the number of counting personnel deployed, including reserves, to take care of the larger infrastructure and throughput, we had 12,406 micro observers, including reserve was 3,732, and number of counting observers was 126. In terms of the other facilitation that was given, that is the 80 plus voters and PWD, the postal ballot received in Assam in total, all categories, was 1,50,000 odd as of last night. It would have gone up by today morning. The exact figures will be put up later. In terms of the progress of counting, the data available to me indicates that of the total rounds that we have to complete, 72% of the rounds are completed. And I have confirmation of 4 clear results: 30 Kokrajhar, 75 Sutia LAC, 71 Dhukajelia LAC, and 95 Golaghat LAC. These 4 results are out, and the remaining will be published as soon as the counting is completed. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I request Mr. Sudeep Jain, the Deputy Election Commissioner, to kindly brief about EVM, VVPAT, IT, and also brief about the counting progress of West Bengal election and the Kerala election.
Thank you, sir. EVMs and VVPATs, as you all have seen, have been absolutely robust, tamper-proof, and the pride of Indian elections. This time again, total of 3.21 lakh ballot units, 2.79 lakh control units, and 2.79 lakh VVPATs have been used without any problems, with very minimal replacement rate, and except for 3 very minor incidents of lapses on the part of the officials carrying the EVMs, there hadn't been any problem in any of the locations across the 5 states and the bipole locations. Coming to the usage of IT in various aspects of conduct of elections, I'll just highlight about the excellent usage of CVigil, where 1,97,388 complaints were lodged on CVigil across these 5 poll-going states, and 1,85,751 of these were found to be correct, and accordingly action was taken. Now coming to Kerala, where counting has been going on across 140 assembly constituencies in the state. As was already briefed, because of the various COVID measures, COVID protection measures that were put in place, the number of counting halls had been increased in Kerala also substantially, which used to be only 76 counting venues in 2016 became 140 this time, and from 140 counting halls in 2016, counting is taking place in 633 counting halls at Kerala. The number of additional returning officers that had been put in place to assist in counting had been 1,949, and total of 23,000 counting personnel and 5,500 micro observers have been put in place, apart from 140 counting observers. Results as of now, what I have received, have been declared in 48 assembly constituencies out of 140 in Kerala, and in rest of the places counting is going on. Coming to West Bengal, once again the number of venues that increased for the purpose of counting this time, because of the social distance and COVID guidelines that are in place, from 90 counting venues in 2016, this time it is at 108 counting venues covering 1,113 counting halls. In 2016, the number of counting halls was only 385. This has increased, as I said, to 1,113 counting halls this time, and 3,120 additional AROs, 22,000 counting personnel and 10,000 micro observers have been put in place. Postal ballots that have been received and are being counted at West Bengal is 5,31,036. The results of number of seats that have been declared, those are still coming in. So if I have any updates later on this, I'll be able to share with you. Thank you.
Do we go ahead and take some questions?
Sure.
I had,
Relating to counting.
Ji, on the media group, I had specifically asked for questions since it's on the counting day. We'd said I'll take in questions relating to counting. I have received a few about court orders. Unfortunately, we would not be addressing those issues right now.